Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deanna Monique. If this is your first time here, hey girl, hey, I am so happy to have you. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know what it is. We like this, sis. Already, we're like this. Let's go ahead and get into the contents of this video. I just want to give you guys some of my personal experiences during my most recent travel trips and some mistakes that I made and some tips on how you can avoid them, and also some good things that happen and some things that I've done right. This channel isn't necessarily promoting solo travel. I think my purpose and my intention is to promote travel in general. I want young women to feel empowered to go through life knowing that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, and that no dream is too big for you to achieve. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, so the first mistake that I made during my most recent travel trip, and if you don't know where I went to Sweden, and I also went to Paris, France. So check out those vlogs. I'm gonna leave them up here. I have 2 of them. Make sure you like them and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already. My most recent travel trip came with a lot of mistakes on my end, and I think the biggest one was not being prepared with my phone. I did not have data. When I left the country, I thought, because this is just what you hear, I think this is for the most part common knowledge, is that, oh, just buy a SIM card when you get to the airport. But guys, one important thing to note is that your phone has to be unlocked. If you're with the carrier and your phone isn't unlocked, then even if you buy a SIM card, it won't work. I'm with Cricket. If you live in the South, you may know what that is. If not, then I don't know. But yeah, I'm with Cricket and my phone is not unlocked. There's like certain qualifications that you have to have in order for your phone to be unlocked, and unfortunately I did not meet them. So I found myself trying to navigate a foreign country with no internet. But do not worry, because luckily I was in Europe, and Europe is, I feel like, at least Paris and Sweden are like cities. I mean, yeah, you can get lost, but like people, it's pretty modern. That's what I'm trying to say. It's modern. So a lot of the internet stuff that I had to do, I did it before I left the home. And Google Maps has an amazing feature where you can download maps of a city offline. So what I did was download maps of wherever I was staying, and that way when I'm not connected to an internet source, I'm able to type in an address, then you're able to navigate. I don't necessarily worry so much about being able to make calls and texts because I have WhatsApp, and you can use WhatsApp if the person who you're trying to contact has WhatsApp, and in order to use that you just need internet. So I think if you're going to travel, get with your phone carrier and make sure that everything is set up before you leave. Do not be like me. Don't be like me. My second tip is to be financially prepared. Yeah, I was a budget traveler. Let's take a second to define what exactly budget traveling is. Budget travel is traveling in a way that is cost conscious and price aware. It does not mean traveling broke. Okay, with that off my chest, let's get back to the video. We're gonna look for deals, but once we get there, we're gonna kind of struggle it through. After going to Mexico, I said I'm not doing it again. I'm never traveling broke again. I went to Dubai on a budget. It was great. I booked my excursions prior to leaving, but when I got there, y'all, I could not go to fancy restaurants. I couldn't go to any of the bars. I just could not get the full beauty and bouginess of Dubai because my coin, it just wasn't matching up. It just didn't add up. And I said, not again, never again. Never again. So from the start of my trip, a lot of unexpected expenses came up while I was even still in the States. I had to book a $300 Uber. I paid $300 for an Uber, y'all, in New York City because I missed my mega bus trip, and I needed to get to the airport before my flight took off, so that Uber needed to be bought. But if I did not have the funds, I probably would not even have went on the trip because I would not have had a way to get to the airport. Not to mention, if you just want to have fun, if you want to be able to go out without having to think about it without having to wonder, oh, I only got $20, whatever the case may be. Just prepare financially. Tip number 3 would be to pack light. On all of my other trips, I did not pack light. I packed like everyone else. I had a suitcase to carry on because that's just what you do when you're traveling. The only thing I brought was a book bag that had all of my clothes in it and a carry-on. And I think that was one of the best decisions because there was a lot of moving around and it was only me. And I had to pay very little money for luggage. But I did do a lot of shopping while I was out there, so make sure you have enough expenses to cover the shopping that you're gonna do while you're there and getting your merchandise, your duty-free things back home with you. Okay, this one is for the girls. This one is for the girls. My next tip is gonna be on dating and making new friends. Listen. I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, it's slim pickings. Okay, it's slim pickings. Now when you catch that flight, okay, when you on that flight and you in that other country, the men ain't gonna be able to keep their hands off you. Okay, let me stop being extra. I'm just giving y'all a heads up right now. The men are gonna come, the numbers are gonna come, the Instagrams are gonna come, but I will warn you, just be careful. No matter where you're going, whether in the United States or abroad, you always want to be careful with information that you give out to potential suitors. So just because you're in a different country, just because they speak a different language, just because they look a little different, does not mean that they're any different. Men are men no matter where you go. As a Christian woman, I'm very intentional about my dating. I'm very intentional about, you know, the choices I make in terms of like who I decide to talk to, who I don't. So it's just important, Christian or not, is to be intentional, know your purpose. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to have fun in the sense of like, it's okay to talk to somebody if they come up and talk to you, but just be careful and do not go against your values, your personal beliefs. Do not go against your integrity, your dignity, just because you're abroad. The idea that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas should not apply to us. And I'm talking to the Christian girlies out there. That should not apply to us. If you wouldn't do it back home, don't do it out there. But it is okay to date. It is okay to make friends, but just be careful giving your number out. Never tell a man that you're alone. Don't be too friendly. There was a couple times, listen, I'm not about to play with you. There was a couple times where I had to take the smile off my face and say, stop talking to me. Leave me alone. And I'm so happy I'm tall because I just be feeling like I just be feeling real big. I just be feeling real big and real don't play with me. So yeah, y'all, don't be afraid to be mean and stop smiling for a second to really get your word across, because there may be situations where a guy does not take no for an answer and you have to you gotta get a little harsh, you gotta get a little tough. I think it's normal, especially if you're traveling to a place like Europe where the majority is white and the majority looks some kind of way, and even in America, it's traveling up north, going to different states where the population is predominantly white, or even in your city you have places that are predominantly white. I think as minorities, as black women, it can be a really uncomfortable situation. But I just encourage you all, before you travel solo, or if you want to travel solo and you're not here yet in your personal walk, in your self-love walk, in your confidence walk, in your boss woman walk, no matter where you go, walk with your head high, know who you are, and don't allow other people's opinions, ideas, beliefs, don't allow other people's looks, because there's a lot of places you go to where there's a lot of places that you may go where people literally have never seen a black person and they will stare. And if you are staring in general makes you uncomfortable, but just go to research the place that you're going to and go with an expectation. If that place is a place like Asia or one of these countries where it's a very homogenous society, everyone looks the same and you're gonna obviously be different, just go there kind of expecting that energy and come with your boss mentality and walk up in that piece knowing that, oh yeah, y'all looking because I'm the baddest. Tell yourself what you got to tell yourself to get yourself out the door and going. And just walk in confidence, know who you are, and just know that your value is not determined by a person's opinions or beliefs about you. And that just is what it is. I'm gonna move on to the next one because I rambled on that one. Okay, which brings me into my very last tip, and that would be, do not be afraid to do things alone. Just because you're alone does not mean you're the only solo traveler in that city. And the best way to meet other people who are in your same situation is going out. And you can do it in a safe way by booking trips and excursions. So book trips and excursions. I did a food tour, and on that food tour, ironically enough, all of us were Black. We were young, Black, free women living our best lives. And when I tell y'all, I love to see it. We actually scheduled to get dinner together. It didn't work out because getting solo travelers to do things in a group is harder than you think, but I was able to get lunch with one of the girls and go shopping. So book excursions that you're into, and I promise you that you will meet some amazing people. I also did a speakeasy tour, which will also be up here. I did a speakeasy tour, and literally everybody on that tour, we met up at the club that night and we had a good old time. It was so freaking fun. And to think I wasn't about to book it because I was like, oh, I don't have internet, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let anything stop you. Use wisdom. Walk in wisdom. Don't be a fool. Walk in wisdom. Make wise decisions. Take necessary precautions, but don't let things like fear and loneliness and just not knowing what's gonna happen next stop you. And to close, I'm going to end with this. I'm gonna end with a scripture that I feel will really help you get through if you are struggling with fear, timidity, or any sort of just hindrance to your ability to walk in your fullness in confidence and courage. So the scripture that I want to share with you all is 2 Timothy 1:7, and it says, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind." So whenever, it doesn't matter whether you want to apply this to traveling, if you're having reservations about traveling on your own or with a group, know that God did not give you a spirit of fear or timidity, but he gave you a spirit of courage, love, a sound mind. Other translations say self-control. Insert what you want to insert, but just know fear is not of God. Yes, there is healthy fear, but a fear of doing things like maybe talking to a person or going outside of your house, going to the store because you're anxious, whatever the case may be, know that the Spirit of God can fill you with courage and confidence, and you can use it on your travel adventures. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you are not already subscribed, like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I am so happy to have you guys here. I absolutely love doing this regardless of however many views or subscriptions I get. I love doing this. I love making content. And leave your questions in the comment section below. Follow my Instagram. I'm also going to leave that in the comment section below, and let me know what your favorite place you've visited thus far. Maybe I'll add it to my list of places I'm visiting next. Okay guys, thank you so much, and I hope y'all have an amazing day.